So point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x. This y sub 1 and x sub 1 are the point that you know, the y that I know, the x that I know. So if I was using the same slope and the same point from before, I substitute them in the appropriate spots. And then try to clean it up, solve for y or get x and y on the same side. Let's go through this together, because this one's a little bit more difficult than the other one. We're not so much used to this. Start by writing the equation. We know slope is our m, so we know 3 is going to go in our m spot. 0 is our x-coordinate that we know, so it's going to be x sub 1. -2 is our y sub 1. So in this equation, I'm going to take y minus the y that I know equal to slope times x minus the x that I know. And we're going to clean it up from there. So y plus 2 equals, if I distribute 3x, 3 times 0 gives me 0. So I could just try to clean this up. I either get it in slope-intercept form, so I either do y equals 3x minus 2, that's slope-intercept form, or move y to the other side and get it in standard form, where the x and the y term are on the same side. So now let's talk about what if you have 2 points. We're going to find the slope first using that slope formula, and then either use the slope-intercept form to find b or the point slope form, and you pick a point to write your equation. So if you have 2 points, you find slope using the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, making sure we're subtracting each time and being careful with our negative symbols. So notice how y2 minus y1, that's the 0 minus -2, and so on. Once we figure out what our slope is, now we're going to use slope-intercept form to either find b or point slope form to find the equation. Let's review how to use slope-intercept form. So I have my slope of -1/4 that I found, and I'm going to use the point 5, -2. So I plugged 5 in where the x goes and -2 where the y goes, and I solve for b. At this point, I want you to realize in my work, I wanted to get rid of the fractions, so I multiplied everything by 4. You do not have to do that. You could just add 4/5 to both sides, still getting a -3/4 for your b. Once you figure out what b is, let's write an equation using slope and the intercept. And then again, to get rid of those fractions, you can multiply everything by 4 and get the x term and the y term on one side for standard form. Let's try writing an equation of these 2 points using the slope-intercept form. Using this slope formula, I'm going to take y2, or the second y-coordinate 3, minus y1, which is 0, and then divide by the second x-coordinate minus the first. And we get a slope of, well, 3 over -6, or -1/2.